Good morning everyone and welcome to the University of Sydney Great Hall. My name is Frank from the Graduations Office and I just have a few important announcements before we begin today's proceedings. Ambassador Productions will be photographing and recording this ceremony, and photographs will be taken of each graduate as they are presented to the presiding officer in the middle of the dais. Please note, these photos will be taken from the left-hand side of the stage, so if all graduates could please make sure that their tassel is on the left-hand side of their trencher now. Stage photos and DVDs are available for purchasing after the ceremony at the Ambassador kiosk, which is located in the main quadrangle, and stage photos can also be purchased online. Just inquire about this at the kiosk. For any guests that couldn't be here today, this ceremony will be broadcast live on the Graduations website. Just type in USYD Grads on Google and you'll find the links for the live stream there. The live stream is also being played in the anteroom, which is adjacent to the Great Hall. We ask guests to be mindful when taking photos to not disrupt the ceremony proceedings or approach the dais steps at any time. Graduands, please ensure that you're sitting in the correct seat number as we want you to leave with the correct test statement today. If you have any concerns about this, just raise your hand and one of our ushers will help you out. Also, all personal belongings should now be with your guests as you will not be returning to your original seat. So, when the graduation ceremony commences, you'll be directed by the graduate checker who will be standing in the side aisle to your right. They will tell you when to make your way up the dais stairs and stand at the mark on the top here. That is when your name will be read out by the Dean, who will be standing at the lectern that I'm standing at now. Will the audience note that once the graduate's name has been read, this is then your best opportunity to applaud the graduate and make as much noise as you can. Graduates, when the Dean calls out your name, you are to salute the presenting Dean. Grace. Go back there. Okay. You are to salute the presenting Dean, which is me. Make your way across the dais to the presiding officer who will be standing in the middle here. At this time, you may choose if you would like to shake hands or you may simply bow your head instead. The presiding officer will then congratulate you and present you with your test statement. Importantly, before you leave the dais, take a step back, salute the presiding officer, then turn and make your way down the stairs to your new seat with directions from the return seat usher. So, to explain the salute, you just bow your head and touch your trencher with your right hand. If you guys all want to give that a go now. So, just to remind you, you salute the presenting Dean when your name is called, and you salute the presiding officer before you leave the dais. Your graduation ceremony will commence shortly, so on a final note, please ensure that all mobile phones are switched off or on silent. And on behalf of the university, congratulations to all graduates. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the presiding Pro-Chancellor, Mrs. Dorothy Hodder, AO, and the academic procession are about to enter the Great Hall. Would you all please rise for the academic procession?
Good morning, everyone. Please be seated. My name is John Hartigan and I'm the Master of Ceremonies this morning. Each year the University holds more than 80 ceremonies for over 17,000 graduates, and these are held in Sydney and overseas in Singapore and in China. I'd now like to introduce you to the people who are here on the dais. Seated at the centre of the dais is Mrs. Dorothy Hodder, AO, the presiding Pro-Chancellor of the University, who will preside over the ceremony this morning. The presiding Pro-Chancellor is joined today by Professor Lisa Adkins, the head of the School of Social and Political Sciences, School's Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, who will be presenting the graduates, and Professor Laura J. Shepherd, our guest speaker. The other people seated on stage are professors, academic and professional staff from the faculties and schools who have played such a large part in the success of today's graduates. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Mrs. Dorothy Hodder, AO, presiding Pro-Chancellor, to formally open the proceedings.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's my very great pleasure to welcome you here today. And in welcoming you here, I wish to acknowledge that the campuses of the University of Sydney are located on the traditional lands of a number of Australia's First Peoples. It is with deep respect for our Indigenous past that I acknowledge the Gadigal, Gundungurra, Darug and Wangal peoples and their custodianship of these lands. This ceremony has been arranged in order to confer degrees upon and award diplomas and certificates to those who have fulfilled the conditions required of them by the statutes of the university.
Would all candidates please stand? Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I certify that all candidates whose names appear in the printed program have successfully completed the requirements for the degree, diploma or certificate which they are to receive.
In the name of the Senate, and by my authority as presiding Pro-Chancellor, I admit each of you present to the degree or award you the diploma or certificate to which you are entitled. Some are unable to be present today. I admit them to the degree or award them the diploma or certificate to which they are entitled in absentia.
Please be seated.
Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences who you have admitted to degrees and to whom you have awarded diplomas and certificates. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Aqib Rafi Alam. for a thesis entitled Doing Everyday Justice, Labour, Resources and Emotions in the Community Legal Sector. Fadi Baghdadi, for a thesis entitled Abnul Marg El Thor, Lebanese Migration and Citizenship in Wollongong. Curtis Neil Dixon, for a thesis entitled Marching in the Light of God, an ethnography of LGBTIQ Christian participation in Pride parades in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Sydney. Hanul Lee, for a thesis entitled Civil-Military Relations and the Effectiveness of Military Alliances in International Security, Preference Alignment, Coordination and Capability Building Activities of the Republic of Korea United States Alliance. Natalie Rebecca Mastorovich-Chulio, for a thesis entitled The Materiality of Human Remains in Unearthing Spain's Repressed Past, What Exhumations Tell Us About Law, Forensics, Human Rights and Memory. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Kututel, Anna Morbiato, for a thesis entitled Word Order and Sentence Structure in Mandarin Chinese, New Perspectives. For the degree of Master of Arts Research, Janet Margaret Burstall. Thomas James Powell. For the degree of Executive Master of Public Administration, Cherie Elizabeth Harrison. Mark James Telford. For the degree of Master of Art Curating, Yindi Yong Kuo.